There was an article in the paper about a kid who was getting bullied so bad that he had to graduate early, and it was a no-brainer. The Summer of SASS mission is to relocate LGBTQ folks out of harm's way from across the country and bring them somewhere where they're going to be celebrated.
What I love about SASS is that they meet you where you are.
I was in Austin, Texas, and I was essentially homeless at the time. If it weren't for this house being gifted, I would have to go back to places I wasn't very safe.
There's an openness in this community that can feel them relax and be like, oh, we're safe here.
Good to see you again. It's been a couple of years,
Yes.
I think. So why don't we start with you telling us, in your own words, briefly, what Summer of SASS is?
Summer of SASS is a program that relocates 18 to 20-year-old LGBTQ folks from around the country to live and work in Provincetown for the summer.
Now they come
Was that
from
brief?
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
great.
For you, it's very brief. They all come from the south because that's where you're from, right?
Yeah, I was raised in Louisiana. I was born in Buffalo. I was raised in Louisiana, but that's what informed
Is it tougher for queer kids down there?
Of course. Oh yeah.
So what's it like when you first bring them here? Like, there's candy shop.
Yeah, no, I mean, everyone always, there's every single year somebody says, oh, these two guys were holding hands walking down the street, right? Like, this is something that most of our young adults have never experienced a community where being LGBTQ is a majority or is safe to be public about it, right? Sure, there's gay bars, but rarely is it just a walk down the street anywhere you go in town, right? Sometimes there's neighborhoods, right? But not at the grocery store, the library, etc.
How many years?
This is our 9th summer.
God. And how many kids?
Now 8 a year in total. Wow, you know what? I need to do the math because there were 3
Oh, yeah.
a couple years and there were 6, and I got to figure out how many total at this point. The last few years have flown by.
The reason why I love you so much is because you're one of the few people in this town which we adore that actually achieves what they dream about. We all talk about it, we all think about it, you've done it. And you've got one house.
Yes.
Which has been going how many years?
We've been in the house since summer 2023.
And that was donated to you
donated, yes.
for free by a gay person?
Yes.
And now we're here today because you've got a second building.
That would be correct. The second building donated to us by a woman who has LGBTQ young adults, kids in their life, and wants to provide an experience for other queer kids. And so that will be the second building. Yes.
Yes. So,
I mean, when you say that's what it is.
But this is different, this building. It's not just going to be living, it's going to be what else?
Correct. So the pitch that got this donation was basically, hey, we're going to need a revenue generating situation, right? My main concern...
Because how do you generate money, for the house?
It's all fundraising. It's all fundraising. It's 501c3, right? Mm-hmm. My concern is, and if you pay attention to this administration specifically, that we might lose our 501c3 status. They are upping the idea that if you help trans people, you're a leftist terrorist organization. Yeah. And so that was kind of my pitch to the donor was, give me a way to be as self-sustaining as possible into the future, which is a commercial space on Provincetown, which is what we have now acquired, the old way downtown at 265 Commercial, and we'll be able to run that in a way that generates revenue and also is a main point of exposure on the main street. You know, our house is on Bradford. This is something that people are going to hear about and spread the word about the program.
So you're going to have accommodation,
yes,
entertainment, for everybody.
Correct.
To raise money for it. How many kids can you put up in there as well?
That depends on how much money I raise.
Okay.
So how those apartments get used are going to be based on our operating budget and what we need to raise in order to make the program viable, right? So when our SASSers come, they only pay $400 a month. Obviously, that doesn't cover our expenses.
No.
It's just something. So, you know, if I raise $1 million, then they'll all be SASSers. If I raise $100,000, then we'll have to rent out some of those apartments in other ways to generate revenue. So,
the advantage of that is it's expensive to rent, so the income...
Right, I mean, we'll always be mindful of what our mission is, that there is a level of accessibility to Provincetown for everybody. So, you know, if I do this right, we don't have to just rent to the highest bidder, because that's not in alignment with our mission. But it's really so new. We're figuring it all out as we go right now.
Why the Southerners? Do they have a worse time?
Oh yeah, but it's not. To be clear, it's not just Southerners. It's rural.
Okay.
You know, it's anyone who's oppressed for being LGBTQ. Period. Mm-hmm. It can be you live in a city, but your parents are terrible and they're born again Christians and they don't believe your identity is real. That counts, right? Like, so it really is just about people who are who are lacking the experience of being able to be themselves and figure out who they are. And 18 to 20 is a great window to figure out who they are.
So you get them work,
We help them find jobs if they want it. Some of them find their own jobs.
and and counselling.
Nope. No, it's, I mean, we have a counselor if they need it, but the
Okay.
reality is that we have them for 3 months. You can't just give somebody a therapist and then take it away. What we do is help them find therapists of their own. Right, here's how you need help. Great, here's somebody to talk to in the immediate, but let's show you how you can have these skills when you leave, right? So our goal is, can you feed yourself? Can you clothe yourself? Can you house yourself, right? Can you pay a little bit of rent? Can you get your necessities and work enough to do that? Can you buy your own groceries and cook meals? Do your own laundry? Clean up after yourself? Great. You need a doctor? Let's show you how to get that. You know, let's look at where you'll go when you get home to get these services. Because the reality is that we only have them from Labor Day or Memorial Day to Labor Day, right? And so we have hands on deck to help, but it's really about teaching young adults to be independent and figure out who they are in a space that's safe to do that.
When you first arrive, they must be like kids in a candy shop. Because as you and I know, walking down this high street is the most wonderful people watching thing.
Yeah.
We do up to everything. We're doing everything. Do they all manage to cope with it?
I mean, there's always a bit of we call it a spin out, right?
Okay.
Where like you kind of land and everything's like, you
Oh my
know,
God.
and the
There's Judy Garland.
but they don't know who that is, and the circumstances of just like, you know, meeting. They're going to live with you know, there's 11 people that live in that house total. So you got people that are going to live with strangers, share rooms with people they've never met before. They're in this place. Maybe they've been told their whole lives that like they're not worth as much as everyone else. And then they get here and they see people like them who have $1 million houses. So like that, there's and everyone's allowed to do that. You know, that is, I always say I want, the business model is basically that, you know, I'm an old Portuguese lady in the 80s who has a house with too many rooms, and I'm offering it to people who need this space. And so that's, you know, with a little bit of mentorship and a little bit
Quite a
of,
few Portuguese ladies here. Any one major achievement in the whole years that you are so excited about?
I mean, I think too, and it's the buildings, right? Like at this point, the organization went from something that I would have to run, and when I died, it would be over. So now it will live.
Next.
It'll live forever.
Yeah.
Right? Like this is now something that has enough assets to sustain it for the rest of ever and ever.
What drives you?
Great question. When something is the right thing and it should be done, you get an idea and you get a little tingly. When that hits, that's when I go in a direction towards the thing.
But you do it. We don't.
I've been very lucky. I cherish my freedom more than anything else. So I've strived really hard to be my own boss. And sometimes you gotta do a little good work to do that. You know, like it was so clear to me when I moved here how much better I felt in this community, that it seemed criminal to have a space that needs a summer workforce, that we have queer teens all over this country that we're not tapping to bring here to have this, to build who they are from their inside. I mean, it's really, to me, it's too simple to not pursue.
Because us as gay elders, I'm typical. I start a week, then a month, and then a year, and I live here now.
Right, and also there is something to be said about it not being New York City or LA. Like there are small town queers. Yeah. And like, hey, you could come live in this small town, and you could see a gay mailman and a gay doctor. You know, all of these things that are a better, I think, as much as it's vacation land, a better representation of queer people living and working than, you know, I'm a performer, I'm a drag queen, I'm a go-go dancer.
Okay, 2 buildings.
Nothing wrong with any of those.
2 buildings. What can we do to help? Apart from send you money. Well, you can say something. What
It
can
is
we do?
right now. It is still sending us money, and it is also telling the story of SASS. What I found is that we are a small organization. We don't have a huge marketing budget, but I find that when people tell the story, number one, it makes people feel good, and we need more of that in the world. And number two, it generally generates a small donation because we want people to feel a part of these successes. When you look at our social media, we don't do, quote, trauma porn. I don't say, here are the most broken kids and they need all this. I say, look at these young adults who are taking a risk on themselves to become better than what they are right now, and to feel safer and to build themselves up in a way that gives them a fortitude to go out into a world that's not meant for them, right? Like, that is, so telling people about it, talking about it, sharing the stuff that we put out is really helpful for everybody. And come to the Strawberry Social, come to the fundraiser on August 7th.
We're going to buy her details so you can send money, but also write and ask what else you can do, because she needs help all the time.
There is a volunteer list on the website. People can sign up for that, and it asks a few questions about what their strengths are, right? And so it all goes to a Google form. So when an event pops up, I can go through it and say, here are these people, what are your strengths? Great. And then they get an email blast, and then that's kind of how we've been starting to activate the community this year.
Stop talking about it, get involved, get activated. Thank you.
Thank you.
Open up the champagne, pop. It's my house, come on, turn it up. Hear a knock on the door and the night begins. Cause we've done this before, so you come on in. Make yourself at my home, tell me where you been. Pour yourself something cold, baby, cheers to this.